So you're saying that the Sutherlandia helps to increase people's blood counts, their white blood cells, which improves their health?
Yes, and their resistance to infection.
Anne's work is controversial and not documented yet. But she's not claiming Sutherlandia is a solution to AIDS, merely that it's helping some people.
I mean, I'd been told to try it and that it would probably boost the immune system, but I don't think anybody knew quite what it would do. A lot of my patients swear it's saved their lives, and I think it has. It improves the quality of life, and I believe it does extend people's lives. I think it's actually very exciting. I think it's one of the most exciting things that has happened.
Some of the most striking results appear to come from a local AIDS hospice. Here, people considered beyond treatment by the local hospital come to die. This patient arrived in a coma 4 days ago. She's been having daily doses of Sutherlandia and has already improved significantly.
She looks much better than when she came.
Already?
Yeah.
We only take those patients who are dying, who have been rejected by the hospitals, maybe at times by the families. And they come here just to die. But since we started with Sutherlandia, we were able to discharge 50% of our patients, and they would go back to work and they become so strong, I mean, depending what stage they come into us.
So you're really saying that 50% of your patients previously would have died, and now with Sutherlandia, they're going away?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, it's just that.
That's amazing. And what happens then? After they've almost died, they've come here, they've started Sutherlandia. How much longer do your patients usually live for?
I've seen the patients living for 3 years after that, provided they come back and then they take on Sutherlandia.
Coming to a place like this makes you realise that for most people on the planet, herbs aren't just a fad or a fashion. If Anne Hutchings is right, they may make the difference between life and death. The stories are really moving. But I'm a Western-trained scientist, and to convince me and other scientists in the West that herbs really work, I need to find evidence that's more solid than this. One group that's been following the boom in herbs with particular interest is the medical profession. So what do doctors make of them?
It's very difficult to actually pin down exactly how much we know about different herbs. What we've really got is some anecdotal evidence, some stories from individuals, sometimes over centuries. But relatively speaking, compared to modern drugs, manufactured drugs, we have much less evidence, much less robust evidence. That's really what we need. We need that kind of information and evidence because, quite simply, if something is effective, it's also potentially dangerous.
So what worries doctors, just as it worries me, is that much of the case for herbs appears to rest on anecdote. And it seems to me that the problem is that here in Britain, herbs are right outside the mainstream of science. So there's very little will and almost no money to really investigate them properly. Yet paging through the medical data, there's one country where they seem to take it all much more seriously. That country is Germany, where for particular historic reasons, there's never been a sharp division between science and herbalism. Here, all GPs are trained in at least a little bit of herbal medicine, and a large majority of them treat people with herbs just as a part of their common practice. In fact, in Germany, the second most popular drug after aspirin is ginkgo. In the UK, that would be unheard of. This has made Germany one of the world's leading centres in scientific research on herbal remedies. Germany's commitment to herbs goes back to the 19th century. But it was given an unexpected modern spin in the 1930s. The Nazis, in the search for a uniquely German health system, saw in herbs the medicine of the common people. They pushed herbalism into the medical mainstream and jacked up production and research. Today, the Nazi contribution to herbalism in Germany is controversial. Yet there's no doubt that this fascination with herbs still lives on. And part of that legacy is this, the Commission E monographs. It's probably one of the most comprehensive dossiers ever put together in the world on the safety and effectiveness of herbs. The monographs are the result of 20 years' work by researchers and manufacturers during the 1980s and 90s. Of the 300 different herbs that were tested, 191 were approved. So from arnica to yarrow. And this is used as the basis for any new registration of a herbal product in Germany. The monographs represent the first systematic attempt to put herbal remedies on a rigorous footing. Yet looking through them, I have problems. If you take a closer look, there are very few references. So you can't check out any of the evidence. And if you speak to the people who created this, they say that it's based partly on anecdotal and partly on historical uses of a herb. So although it's extremely comprehensive, from a scientist's point of view, it's not quite the herbal Bible some people say it is. What I need is a technology that can show what herbs are really made up of. That's why I'm going to go visit a research centre near here. In state-of-the-art labs like these, scientists have discovered in recent years that it's possible to analyse plants in the sort of detail that Commission E researchers could only have dreamt of.